Sneak out of here.
We'll start with Coach and a little bit of the question.
Okay, couple injuries to update. Achilles Butler broke his collarbone, so he's going to be out. Happened at the end, punt return there towards the end, where he caught the one that kind of bounced, or actually was a line drive to him there in the south end and got hit. And so he'll be out. Don't know the exact time frame, but don't expect him back anytime soon. Shane, hopeful. Don't know exactly. He hurt his ankle in the game. Didn't come back in, but hopeful he's going to be able to practice with us this week. Don't know what that means yet, but he's got a couple days here to get himself healthy. Other than that, a couple bumps and bruises there, but a shorter turnaround with the Friday game. And our guys got back to work yesterday, and it was good. They're ready to get back to work, and looking forward to get out there playing. And probably the best thing for us is having a short week so we can go back out there and get on the field. I think after reviewing the game, like I said the other night, we just hurt ourselves. It really came down to a game of inches. With a few catches here and there, some of the balls that deflected off the receivers that became interceptions. That's tough. It's tough, and those turnovers were third down conversions potentially, and also turnovers at the same time. And New Mexico did a good job of being there to make those plays. But it comes down to that. We got to make those. We got to obviously do a better job in the red zone when we have the opportunities. And with the yards and the movement from the offensive side, you expect more points at the end of the night. We just didn't have that. Defensively, I did think we played well. We gave up a few big plays in there. But overall, we did a decent job against the run game. And, their quarterback came in there and threw a couple down the field. We knew they were going to make plays. We had to eliminate some, but we also put our defense in a short field and made it difficult on them. It is senior day coming up this Friday, and we'll talk more about those guys later in the week, and I'm sure there'll be stories on this group of seniors. But, to make it to your senior game, your senior year, and in this program is very special. And these guys, they mean a lot to us. We want to finish it the right way, and we want to make sure that we do that for those guys and on the blue and for a lot of other reasons. Air Force, 7-3, 5-1 in the conference. Very good team, played against them last year, and turnovers were the key to that game. But these guys are physical. They're playing, I think, very good football right now. They're number 3 in the nation in running the football. We know it's triple option, but they also threw for a couple hundred yards in the last game, and their quarterback has done a nice job. They're one of the least penalized team in the country as well. So they're disciplined, and they have been, and they were last year. And so that's one area that they're not hurting themselves. 12th in the nation in total defense, 3rd in our conference. And they're also, one of the better teams in the country in sacks, being 11th in the nation and 1st in our conference with 3 sacks per game. Weston Steelhammer, that guy's a good player. He's first team all-conference last season. He was the guy last year that, did I say that correctly? I believe I did. All right.
Dave's favorite name.
Huh? Weston Steelhammer is a very good player, and he played very well against us last year. And he's a guy that continues to show that along with others on the team, and they just they continue to improve. And this is going to be a very physical game, another team that for our defense, a little bit different, but is going to have to prepare for that triple option. And then offensively, we've got to continue to do what we've been doing. We just got to do it better, really, when it comes down to it. And it's really not any more complicated than that, making those plays, executing. The key is we need to have more guys contributing and competing at a higher level, and not just the same guys that are making plays. We got to have more. And those guys that come in and fill in, if a Chaz is out or a Spurbeck is out or a Darian Thompson is out, those other guys, that's why depth is so important, have to come in and still continue to play at that level. And that's what we've talked about as a team. That's where we are. And that's the reality of the situation we're in. We've got to do a better job everybody on our team at playing at a higher level, period. And we have to do that through the entire game. And that's what it takes to be a successful football team. We've done it at times. We haven't done it consistently enough. So we are still a work in progress. We still have a long ways to go. We still have opportunities with this season if we can continue to play well and win. And it all starts this Friday against Air Force. And I know our guys are looking forward to that. So with that, open up for questions.
Obviously, drop passes were a huge factor in that game, and more than we've probably seen all season. Thomas said maybe guys trying to catch the ball with their body a little too much. Anything you saw that contributed to that?
Yeah, it really was that. But one of the things, that's a couple of them. AJ's in particular really is a body shot. That's how he's caught that ball. We've thrown that ball that way quite a bit this year, that same concept, and that's how we've caught it. And really, to be honest with you, for the reason of if it's up here, tip balls can be pick balls, so body shots, all right, you would assume that if it does drop, it's going to drop to the ground and it goes right through in that case. And so that one's a little bit hard because you want the ball thrown there and you want that body shot type catch, and it just didn't go that way. Now, Sean's was different. Sean was one that, we need to use our hands in that situation. It was a really great throw. And Sean really did a nice job of settling. It was kind of a cover two look, and he settled right in the hole there. He went up with his body and hit off his shoulder pads and became a tip rather than just putting his hands up. And, that's the difference. Is things like that, just a technique here and there that can change. And obviously it turned into be, a negative play for us. And, those guys work that. I think they understand it. It becomes a mistake in a situation like that that's very costly. And we just got to keep emphasizing it. And you go back and show guys on film why it matters to do it a certain way. They know it, but you use those points to teach them.
Prior to the game last week, Dante and DSG were both out on the field pregame. It looked like they're moving around pretty well. Curious if you expect them back soon. And then at that position, with Shane going down and Achillian as well, you look at a guy like maybe Terrell as a senior might finally get his chance to get some opportunity, I guess. Yeah,
as far as DSG and Dante, they're both coming along. And, it's good they're out there. I mean, that's important. They're moving around. Dylan, don't expect him back. Dante, we'll see, where he's at. And again, these guys, they can walk around and move and they look like they're okay, but to really go out there and plant and drive and play the game in the way you need to play it, they're not. As far as the guys with backups, Terrell, some of these Sean, Achillian, or AJ, those guys are going to have to play. Our tight ends are going to have to step up. Jake Rowe's a guy that needs to get the ball. And Holden Huff, is a guy that's made plays for us. So guys are going to have to step up. We're going to have to utilize some personnel in different ways with those guys being out if Shane's not able to come back. And we will. And that's part of, taking advantage of your opportunity. And that's why we need more guys that continue to keep competing and playing at that level and getting out there. And I feel like we have the guys that can do it. It's just got to go out. We got to go out there and actually get it done and do it consistently. But those guys will step up, and we'll have to do that and find a way to win with the guys we got.
You talked a lot about turnovers, obviously being key, and you look at the disparity in your wins and losses since you've been here, and that's obviously been apparent. I know there were some tip passes, that kind of thing, but how do you explain where you can have games where you just have 4, 5, 6, 7 turnovers, and then games where you have none, and a couple of those were in the red zone, which it seemed like were really key last week?
Yeah. I really wish I could answer that completely, to be honest with you. It's not something that, doesn't go unrecognized when it first happens. I mean, we're talking turnovers, and then if there is one, that's a big point of emphasis, and you still have to play. That's the reality. And we had, and it's never, one particular player a lot of times. If it's always the quarterback or one guy, you can change that. You can fix that. It's when it happens with multiple players. And really that comes down to a mentality that it can't happen. That ball can't pop out. That ball can't get deflected off the pads because we know, our players know, that's been the reason why we've hurt ourselves and why we've lost football games. So I can't explain it. I know it's been addressed. It has to continue. It's obviously not fixed. We've identified the problem, but it's not fixed until, we have games where if we lose a game and it's because we got defeated and we played well and we didn't have turnovers, that happens. Sometimes you face teams and you face better opponents or they make more plays, whatever it is. But when you hurt yourself and put your team in a bad situation because of turnovers, that's frustrating. And it still comes down to emphasizing it, continuing to do that. It's not like we're going to stop doing that, but it's got to, if something like that does happen, it can't happen again.
I think all of us in here are probably pretty happy that Brett was made available today.
He was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Was there anything that kind of made it seem like maybe this was the right time? Anything bring that about?
Well, I told you guys before, he's going to have his opportunity. And going to the last game at home, and this is not about any particular player, and I know you guys want to talk to Brett, it's about leadership. And really, that's a big part of what we need. This team needs leadership. And, we have seniors, and we do have leaders on our team. He's one of our leaders. He has been. I think we're at a point, that's something that I feel, and I think, our coaches feel that's very important for us as we move forward and play in these final 2 games, is that we have the leadership to go out there and finish it the right way. And, he's a guy, I don't know how well he did in here. I'm sure he did well because he's done that for our team, and he is a leader, and it's an opportunity for him to expand on his leadership role is really what it's about. And so it's all about our team. It's all about what, we feel like we have to do moving forward. He's not the only one that's been asked, about stepping up in the leadership role and providing that, going into this game. But this is an opportunity for him to be able to do that and show it. And, hopefully he did a good job with that.
I'm sure it doesn't surprise you, but he did come off very well. He did very well here. He was smart and articulate and funny. And how important is that for a quarterback to have that skill, to be able to articulate himself and to be able to talk to guys and get that out, get his message out to guys? Yeah,
well, it's like all of you. I got to be able to communicate with all of you differently. You all have different questions. You're all different people. It's just like your team. You've got to be able to talk with this guy and this guy and this group, and you've got to get your message across. All right. And then also this is the next step for him, is also with media and those type of things, to make the points of what we have to do as a team to be successful. That's just the world we live in. And it's extremely important because as a leader, your communication and who you're talking to and how you're talking to them makes a difference. And, this part of it, I knew I felt like he will do fine in this area. He is a guy that does well with our team, and we need him to really show up and continue that. And know that, I think this is also for him personally an opportunity to get in front of people, say what he wants to say. That's also important for his development too. And, that's going to help him hopefully as we move forward. And what we need for him in his role as we try to go play and win these last 2 games.
Defensive kind of taking the approach of go after him and blitz a lot and get the ball out of his hand. And I wonder if that's forcing you guys to throw the ball maybe more than you would like. I mean, look at the numbers, how much you're throwing, and then also kind of what challenge that presents, particularly a young quarterback when he's facing the pressure that he's facing.
Yeah. I think situation has put us in a position to throw it more than we want to. We certainly didn't plan on, I don't know how many times we threw it in the last game, but yeah, we had to. We had to do it in order to put ourselves in position to move the ball as quickly as possible. As far as, for him, yeah, he's accepted that challenge and he's done well against it. He's had challenges against the pressure of making some plays. But no, we want to be able to run it more, and we want to do that more consistently to help him out and be better at it. McNichols, I think, has played well. The other guys have to step up. We got to do a better job. We need to hit the the plays where they're designed to hit, and we need to do, what we're coached to do. And some of that stuff didn't happen in the last game. And that's why I go back to it again. We need more guys to be contributors than just the guys that are out there. And we'll find them. There may not be the guys you've seen. Maybe other guys are going to get their opportunities, but we'll find them, and they'll contribute, and we'll help those other guys out. But Brett has handled all that well. He's been on more of the winning side than the losing side of a lot of those blitzes or pressures or whatever, and he'll continue to do that. And that's part of what we expect. And I think with a young quarterback, we would do the same thing. You want to come after him and see, all right, what this guy can handle. And if anything, you're gonna get a shot on him, which he did. He took some hits in the game, and is this guy going to get up? He's a young guy, and he popped right back up and continued to battle.